Average at Best Cornhole back here with another compare video. We chose these two because they have an odd slow side material. It is a hybrid material. It's a touch faster than the other common hybrid materials, but it really fuzzes up and becomes active, you know, like when you get it broken in.
Right.
And we don't know too many series with this hybrid slow side on it, so that's why we chose these two bags. And another neat thing about it is it really doesn't stretch too when you get it broke in. So we have Seva Cornhole Nighthawks, and we have some Nola bags, Rougarou X.
Speeds on these, and the Rougarou X does have a 9.5 rated fast side from Nola, and the Seva has a 9 rated fast side, and both of them share the same 5.5 rated speed from the companies.
So we'll jump right into the materials, and we do call this the hemp hybrid just because it's got an odd texture to it. It makes you think of like a hemp hoodie or a hemp rope or something. So that is the slow side on these bags. The Rougarou X, it does have that, you know, other famous 9-speed fast side. And then the Seva Nighthawk here, it's got a fast side that kind of fuzzed up a little bit. It feels pretty similar to the backside, which is neat. You know, it gives you that really good hand feel.
Yeah, it pilled up quite a bit on the fast side. You don't see that a lot, so I don't know if that's just a material we haven't seen as much, or these have a lot of play on them. These go all the way back to kind of the middle of summer, so a lot of outdoor play on these as well. Template on these, both of these are medium to medium-large template. The Nighthawks definitely are a little more full versus the Rougarou X's. They're a little more flat and, you know, a little more floppy, I think.
Yeah, but the Rougarou X actually weighs more. Like it weighs above nominal, so there must be a ton of beads in there. Not beads, but fill in there to get that extra weight, because it is thinner but weighs more. Leads us to the fill and flop, and the Rougarou X, like I said, there's a lot of fill in there, but it's mainly all flats. I mean, there is some filler beads in there, but it's just it's a heavy floppy bag with a lot of flats in it, opposed to the Nighthawk. You know, it's got, they say, a tri-blend fill to it, and you could fill some big rounds and some little rounds, and it is a little bit less floppier than those Rougarous for sure.
Yeah, that's the biggest difference to me between these bags right away is that bead feel. You feel it in your hands, and the Nighthawks come out a lot thicker, fuller feel because of the more rounds and less flats in it. And what stood out to us on these bags, and the Nighthawk, for being such a faster bag with that material, is very active. You know, it goes back to a lot of the round beads in there and stuff. Very active bag. The Rougarou X stands out because it's a great hold runner with that heavy weight. Just the way they hit the board is quite something with those, and that's, you know, where they stand out right away, is just their ability to, you know, hit the board well and fall in because of how floppy they are.
Yeah, to touch on something we didn't like also, both of these slow sides, it takes forever to break it in. You got to be patient, and I think the problem is people aren't going to like it because they don't give it the time to break in. But the Nighthawks, I don't feel like they're as drippy as they should be for being a faster bag. You know, a lot of times faster bags have a little bit more drip to them. They don't. And the Rougarou X, it's a good bag, but there's just so much contrast from the fast side to the slow side. Like the hand feel on it's a little odd. It's not like these Nighthawks where I said, you know, the fast side kind of feels like the slow side now. Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about that. And that's one thing that kind of, when we first started getting these bags, kind of a turnoff, just feeling that heavy, coarse hemp, you know, type carpet. It's quite different than anything else you're ever going to play. So that kind of takes some adaptation to get used to and feel comfortable. I think we're both past that point.
Yeah.
And we like these bags. The Rougarou X, it does feel a little soupy in your hand once it's fully broken in, which isn't, you know, a real bad thing. But if you like a fuller bag, that could stand out as something you don't like on this.
Moving on to our slide up, and I don't want to say that one bag can't do what the other bag can do, but the biggest difference between these bags is it seems like the Nighthawk, you know, it's more of an active bag. You're going to be able to do a little bit more with it. But then on the other hand, you know, the Rougarou X with its size and flop and all that, it's going to be a great hole runner bag for you. And we're going to get in a lot more detail on that.
And before we get into our slide up fully, go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. We appreciate that.
So as far as forgiveness, Rougarou X definitely more forgiving out of the two series. Seva, it's more of an active bag, and that's why it's gonna kick a little bit on you, especially once you get that fuzzed up. The Rougarou X, it just seems to land flat and slide straight.
And whole bodiness, and both of them are pretty good, but the Rougarou X is going to get a little bit of a nod there, just the extra flop. it just tends to gravitate and drip into the hole a little bit better.
Yeah, having that flop, there's a chance of that thing, hanging over the hole and catching. And with that faster, slow side, then it can whip around and fall in. And then collectability, definitely the Nighthawks for collectability. That's it. In my opinion, you got more of a fuller bag, less of a chance of it missing, right?
Yep. Yeah, now I will add that the Rougarou X is still pretty good at collecting. Even though it's a floppier bag, you don't hit those ones that just kind of breeze by and just grab a little bit of the fabric. There's still enough, probably why we had so much weight on this bag, because there's enough fill in there. It still grabs and collects pretty good, but the Nighthawk gets the slight nod. Capable shots, and both these bags I think are pretty much capable of everything you want. A less experienced player such as ourselves, we find that the Seva Nighthawk is a lot more active for us, a lot easier to cut and control. It's a great bag for when you're going up against a dirty game player because you can really work around them.
Yeah, I've seen videos online of experienced people rolling these Rougarou X. I don't know if that's a bag that I would ever be able to roll. I definitely would have a better shot at rolling that Nighthawk. But the cuts for that Nighthawk they're pretty awesome too. Yes. And with that faster, I mean, it's surprising how well it cuts for it being faster, and you get around that blocker and go into the hole.
Yep. Starting off our final thoughts with the cost, and the Nola Rougarou X's you can find for $70, and the Seva Nighthawks you can find for $85. So pretty close to each other, well under that $100 mark, but you can't really take much away from Nola, offering stamp bags at that price.
Yeah, I'm not upset with any one of those prices, but $70 for an ACL Pro stamp bag, and then there is discount codes available too. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's the MSRP price before you find any discounts. Final thoughts here, and starting with the Nighthawk, and again, we couldn't believe how active this bag was and still being a fast bag. It was kind of the perfect summer bag for us. I know Craig threw them a ton during summer because they really weren't affected by humidity at all. So it was a great bag to go from daytime into the night. He was continuing to cut them and do everything. And again, just these materials alone are innovative in the cornhole space. So that's just another reason why I love this bag.
Yeah, and the Rougarou X, it just seems to be the perfect combination of size and flop and that flat fill. Yeah. With it being forgiving, it's a pull runner bag to me. Like I stated before, I saw people rolling them and stuff. I don't personally think I could ever roll that bag, even if I could roll bags. But as far as running holes, I mean, it's pretty good, and it bunches up. It gets around blockers, and it finds the hole.
That's all we got today on the hemp carpet comparisons. And be average at something, be average at cornhole.